Hi, this is a quick demo of how to do a quote in Printworxs. So to find your quote, you in the left-hand side here on the navigation, you'll go to Documents, Customer Quotes, and then you'll get your list of quotes. So on any list, there's a new button. You just click New to get a new quote. So let's say this customer wanted a brochure and a pull-up banner. So something we need to do on our digital machines and our wide format machine. So I can go into my customer list, select the customer, and if there's no customer, I'll just go here, set new company. I can put a contact person. So let's pick one of my clients. All right, and then I come to the print quote section here. I'll just hit new, and let's say we're going to do the brochure first. So let's say it's a A4 brochure folded to A5. I'll pick A5. In my description here, we'll put A5 brochure. And then in my quantities, let's say customer wanted 100, 200, and 500 options. So in this drop down here, I'll just pick which markup structure I want. And you can go and create your own markup structures. On any drop down, you can just hit the little edit button on the side here. You get a choice of edit and new. So if I do new, I can enter a new markup structure. So let's do a new one. Let's say 10% on everything. All right. So we'll go put 10% here on it. Oops. And okay. So now, all right. So now we got our different new markup structure here we can pick from. So let's choose that one. And now let's go add our section. So I'll go add a print section. And let's say it's a 4-page brochure. And then we can zoom into the brochure. And then from here, I can pick the items that I want. So in this case, let's say we're going to do it on our litho press. So I'll pick a litho press. And I'll pick a paper. So let's go into paper here. And we'll just choose any one from the list. And then let's say that we're going to do some guillotining. Cut it down to size. Add in my guillotine. And then maybe we're going to fold those A4s to A5s. So I'll add some folding. So let's say the finishing item you wanted wasn't here. You can just hit new button to add a new setup item. And let's call this one side folding A4 to A5, for example. And so maybe that costs us 20 cents each, for example. There's lots of different options you can use. Cost per 1,000, cost per one. You can go time-based if you want. Speed, cost per hour, make readies, make your time, or you can go square meter based. And you can add some overs. So let's say maybe we need 1% overs for a fold. Okay, so now I can select that item on my quote. And there we go. So now I've got paper, folding, printing. So anything is on the press, I have to tell it which ink to use. So let's say we're going to do this full color. I'll choose my process inks. Okay. So now if we go look at the calculations, you'll see here 230 stock sheets. And so obviously this is so much stock sheets because for 100 brochures because of the overs that's set on that machine. If we, for example, switch to a digital machine, you'll see that paper cost and the overs will come down. So let's choose a digital press. So if I choose my Xerox, so you'll see it's taken the litho press off and now it's running the digital press, and you can see my paper cost is now reduced. So I must just tell the system now that I want to print this brochure on both sides. There we go. All right. And that's basically it. That's my brochure done. So now I can just say the customer wants 100, 200, and 500 option. So if I okay, so there's my 100 price. If I copy this one, there we go. And now I can just change this one to be 200 and change this one to be 300. Okay, you can see this line is red. There's some warning here. We can go check what that is. It's just warning me about the amount of waste on my stock sheet. Obviously, I chose a bad size there because I just picked a random size out of the list. All right, so let's click OK. And so here I've got the quote and the price for the brochure. Now the customer also wanted a quote for a pull-up banner. So I just add new and add it onto the same customer quote. So let's in this case not use a standard size. Let's say it's the pull-up banner is 1.5 meters high and maybe 0.5 meter wide. Oops. 0.5 meter. There we go. And then the description is pull-up banner. And then I go into my quantities here. And let's say they wanted 5 banners. And here I can choose my markups again. Okay, and so here we'll go say it's a wide format printing. So I'll choose pull-up banner, go into the pull-up banner here, and then choose my wide format press. So my Roland, and I'll choose my wide format material at the top. So maybe a vinyl reel, 50 by 200. And then let's say that I needed to get maybe a pull-up banner mechanism and the assembly for the banner. Now, if any of these items, if you want to, let's have a look at the setup for one of them. So let's open the assembly. So if I hit edit, I can go into that item and you'll see in this case, I said it's $50 per hour and I can assemble 5 units in an hour. All right, so let's say I need the assembly and the mechanism added to my quote, and then I have a price for both of those. So I'll just show you how I set up the Roland and the vinyl in case you want to do the same in your system. So for example, on the Roland, if I go into that one and we just edit the setups, then you'll see here I put a maximum reel width. I put a cost per hour and a cost per square meter. Obviously, if you put a cost per hour, you just have to tell the system how many square meters you can print in an hour. So that's all. That's how I did the setup there. You can see on this screen here, so what I did is on the Roland, if I click on the Roland, I get more details. So it shows me what's copied in from the template that we've selected, and it shows me the calculations, so the runtime and the cost. Okay, and then, yeah, and similarly, so for the vinyl, when I set up the vinyl, if I go look at that standard template there, so I just put in 50 meters depth, 2000 millimeters wide, and I selected the substrate type as real. And then under supplier prices, I just added a supplier price. So here you can choose what unit you want to use, square meters and cost per square meter is what I chose. But yeah, so usually you'll obviously have all that set up already and you'll just select it on the quote as I did now. Anyways, so that's just to show you a bit more detail. You'll see the system shows you the calculations up here as well, how many square meters per banner and the total square meters for the 5 banners. Okay. So if I go out of this, so there's my pull-up banner, 5 of them. If I wanted to maybe give the price for 2 banners, I can do that. 2 banners, okay. And if I say OK on this now, so now we'll have a price here for our A5 brochure and our pull-up banner. And so now I can send a quote letter to the customer. There we go. There's my quote letter. Now, when you set up your system, you'll put your logo in. You can link your logo. You can put your address in and so on. So your quote letter won't be as sparse as mine. But then from this page, you can email. You just hit email. You get the template email coming up, and you can send it out from there. And that's it. Easy as that. That's how you do a quote in Printworxs.